gonna tape it too, so.
Spread out a little.
There's waters there if anybody wants a water.
COVID is on the rise.
It's live.
It's live?
I don't see us, but
Yeah.
the
Last one.
This one we have to,
nope,
Last
we
we had
shouldn't.
and this one, okay,
Remember the
that's that confusing one. Yeah.
Oh,
First
Let me go
reading on
check.
it, because it's not an emergency.
The other day they used to.
So this is a second though, first and pass.
So, and then we can just.
Did I cover something?
Those two.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have both the windows open? See, he's moving it and it's clicking on it.
I need the exercise. Jim, that's why I said Gilbert.
We're still hard, we still have no video.
Well, I got here late, so I can't.
If you didn't touch it,
Is everything plugged in?
that wire's fine over there.
I don't know what goes where, so.
Well, the tip was a little more on it. Obviously, more than we talked about. That's gonna increase too. It's gonna-
It doesn't even, the screen doesn't even look the same. Oh, here we go.
That's why GoPro.
I think that has to do with the internet.
And pray for 2025.
Well, that's what we were trying to do.
Well,
Yeah, well, it didn't happen in 24.
I think it's that one up there.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, number one. Mm-hmm. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
try to,
Yeah, we'll
I hate to do that, but
I know.
really mess up something.
Should we just try to move it a little?
We already hit rock bottom, so we can't.
Well,
That was,
close.
yeah.
I haven't picked a bad time.
We got a picture.
No picture yet.
No picture.
No picture, we're live, but no picture.
Last time it was just the wire over there.
That's what I said, maybe if we move it
Yeah.
a little, it'll.
Wiggle the wire down there.
Anyone willing to wiggle it? I'm not.
You get in more trouble.
I'm gonna get blamed.
We still
Hi,
have,
Ray.
Jennifer.
we still have the one.
There's audio, no video.
Pardon?
One right.
There is audio.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They were supposed to put that up and they never did. Well, that's what I keep saying. So the police is working for.
yeah, it doesn't matter. We have audio, so that's good. We have audio.
Okay. So everyone just make sure you really speak into the microphone since we have no video but only audio.
Well, it's better the audio anyways,
Yeah.
'cause-
That's what we need.
so. Okay. Ready? Ray, you got audio? I had an audio on my computer, so, okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Committee of the Whole meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, September 10th, 2024 at 7:03 p.m. We're having trouble with the video part of our YouTube recording, but it is, the audio is working. So, and also we do record it in the police department. All right. Second order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Nikki, roll call?
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Present.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to ask for Brian Spitznagel to be excused from the committee as a whole meeting.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, I'm sorry, for committee of the whole meeting, September 10th.
Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Second by Jennifer Allen. Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes?
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel? Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Spitznagel excused. 5-0, thank you. Okay, along with our 4 council members, we do have our fiscal officer, Nicole Sell, here, and our law solicitor, John Montello. Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
yes,
4-0 on the,
yeah, 4-0. What'd I say, 5-0?
yes, sir.
All right, yeah, 4-0. Well, he'd have voted for his own excuse.
I don't know. You never know about Brian.
All right. Any comments related to the agenda items? Residents can always, and non-residents could make comments at any time. We allow as we go through the legislation too, so. Okay? Any from anybody watching a live stream? I'd like to welcome anybody watching a live stream this evening. Okay. We have item 5, okay, for legislation. And the first one is A, ordinance 2024-9, making additional appropriations for current expenditures of the Village of Walton Hills. Another spreadsheet out this afternoon. Nikki, did you want to, I know we talked about this last COW meeting last Tuesday. Did you want to talk about this a little bit right now? And
Yes, on the first one I gave you, if you could just dispose of that one, I did not include some of the items such as the transfers in. So I updated the explanation. Nothing has changed on the actual legislation. So this is basically an update on trying to explain everything that is happening through this budget amendment. That all the final appropriations and transfers would lead to an increase in the budget of $618,990. Our original budget was a deficit of about 1.2. And then I included also on here some income that we had not accounted for, which will reduce that $618,000. We've got the TIF income of $37,000. We had a reader retainer of $86,000. Rob sold a couple of fixed assets. That was $5,000. So far, we've gotten a 2023 county maintenance reimbursement of $11,566.80. We were able to recover an overpayment from a prior year of $35,000 to Motorola. And interest, we're expecting to the end of the year would be close to $80,000. So those would definitely have an impact on the increase in the budget.
so Nikki, that puts the net budget increase you have here. Is that the correct number then right there?
Correct, $346,423.21.
Okay.
So if anybody has any questions on the amendments or the transfers.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Diane.
Nicole, I have 2 simple questions. When is our contract due for fire and EMS?
I think that was,
27.
yeah, it was a long contract.
2027, it's still
Yeah, I
up to,
think so.
okay.
But you can, we can exit it with, I think, I forget what the notice is, so many months' notice, if you decide.
Is it 5% every year?
It follow, go ahead, Nikki, you know. Go ahead.
It said, what I read in the contract was 2 to 5%, so
2 to, okay,
next year I'll be budgeting for 5.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I
It
didn't.
follows the, which index does it follow? The Cleveland, the, what you call the? Consumer price index. The consumer price, doesn't it? Consumer, what do you call it? What's the other name, Nikki?
I'm not sure.
That you follow? Is it what's the,
Cost of living?
no, maybe it's consumer, but it follows it. That's why there's a variable from 2 to 5. Whatever the estate is that increase, then that's where they come up with that. That's why there's a variable 2 to 5. No one just picks one or the other. It's based on that might be that consumer index, John. But we can look in the contract and share that with you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
Oh,
Jennifer?
I'm sorry, Diane, you got another one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
But you, okay, it's a simple one. You have fax lines doubled. Does that mean we have twice as many fax lines, or the price doubled?
So the price doubled. We've kind of been dealing with that for several months. I'm not exactly sure where to turn for help on that. We use copper lines for our faxes, and we actually have a fax line at the service department here and at the police department. We had talked to TCC, we had got a quote, and there's an option for a $19.99 fax line over the internet, but I don't know anything about copper lines and what's required, and then there's some other phone lines on there that we've tried to call, and it just, there's no answer, there's nothing. So we can't connect those. We've talked to AT&T multiple times, so I'm not sure if there's somebody that can help us with that, we could probably get rid of those fax lines. They're over $2,000 a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I had a fax line probably for 25 years, and then AT&T, all of a sudden, they just charge you so much. And I eliminated it because everybody wants everything scanned and emailed. So I
Right,
never
and-
used the fax then. It was eliminated.
Right, and there's very few faxes that come into the village, and generally they're junk email.
Right.
I think the only people that may need it would be, the police may need it for some reason, but again, maybe they can do it over the internet version. I'm not sure.
Yeah, scan and email, right.
Yeah, and then I think Suzanne with the traffic court, she does some emailing. So I think we'd have to kind of get with them and decide what would work best for them and then how to proceed. There's, when we talked to AT&T, they said they could do some sort of line and locate, where they would locate the lines that we can't connect anything. They could be connected to the alarms in the village. We just have gone as far as we can go at this point.
Will AT&T give you an assessment at no charge?
They said they typically don't charge. They didn't say yes or no.
Because a lot of times
So-
inside, they're gonna bill you.
So
Yeah.
we're assuming they wouldn't, but again, I'm not sure. Maybe the department heads could help us, or,
Yeah, I'll talk to that, Nikki, because you know I talked to the department.
Right.
So what we're gonna try to do is eliminate them, as many of the, I talked to Suzanne, and she's our clerk of court, and she might be required to have one. So out on that, I think I talked to her last Tuesday or Monday, so I'm waiting to see what's happening there. There's a couple in the police department, the chief's gonna tell us which one, and Rob, maybe we'll eliminate, because everybody does just scan now and send it. There was just that big increase all of a sudden, as you see, they doubled them, which is okay. I mean, we have to pay that, but we're gonna try to eliminate it.
Okay.
That's our goal. We're gonna eliminate them and use the other service unless we're required to have them. And we might be required through the court. So that's really the one, and the chief will have to see there too. There's just certain things that they require a fax is a legal document versus, but that's starting to change
Okay.
now too. Remember, you can only fax, a doctor could only fax a prescription and all that. That's all starting to change, so that's something, unfortunately, we do have a bill too, so. But we're trying, as far as the lines that are, as Nikki mentioned, that's kind of where we're at, a little bit of a crossroad. We're trying to find out who to go through to straighten that out for us. So I'll see
Okay,
what Rob
thank you.
says on that. Yeah, faxes are all, I guess sometimes they're required. They're almost, non-existent. Anybody else on that spreadsheet?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Jennifer.
Nikki, with that increase, 5% on the fire and EMS, does that put our contract this year over 700,000? Because I want to say, I thought the contract for this year was like 678,000.
I don't remember the total offhand, but I can get back to you on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'd like to know, and if we need to go out for a request for proposal,
Okay.
you know, and stuff, and get an idea of what's out there. Also, on the cleaning, how often, do you know how often they come? Because I see them coming a lot of times, and the rooms haven't been used or anything. I mean, I've watched them pushing a mop around the community room, and nobody's been in there or anything.
I think probably the best person to talk to would be Mary or Natalie or Ronnie. I know that.
Actually, they're not, Rob's managing that.
Oh,
Rob manages Jan Pro,
okay.
so that's the person to talk to.
Yeah, I do believe that they're cleaning before certain events or after, or
Mhm.
maybe both.
Yeah,
So there's, yeah, that's something to look into.
okay. And then speaking about Rob, John, did you have a decision on that pickup truck yet?
I did do some research, I did talk to the auditor. I think if council's so inclined to allow it, that I think we can do it. I just have to be careful, we have to pass a resolution authorizing it, specifying the reasons that it's gonna be used for, to repair, clean, clear the public highways. And I was thinking about it, because we're gonna have that TIF money too, we will need that truck to, do projects in the area. So I think it falls within the permitted uses, but I do think we need to pass a resolution in order to approve that. And it is, from what I understand, it's budgeted already, but still, you need to pass a resolution if I could be wrong about that, I'm not certain it's budgeted already, but I believe it is. But if, I think we need a resolution just to, in case, to specify, to comply with the law.
Mhm.
Okay, so you want a resolution for next week then?
Yeah, that's fine with,
Is council in agreement with that? Okay.
because my understanding was the money was already budgeted for it.
No,
It was budgeted for something else.
He had operating supply, he had some additional money in his operating supplies and his auto repairs, so.
That's what it was. It wasn't specifically budgeted for that.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I
Go
thought,
go ahead, give the reason why, because Nikki contacted the auditor and you talked to the auditor today.
Yeah, they are
So-
restricted funds, they're supposed to be used for specific purposes. They are, one second, I'll tell you here,
You know the funds too, Nikki, right?
Mhm.
So it wasn't like that amount was put in for that, but go ahead, John, because you both
It's,
talked to the auditor, explain
yes, sir. It
the
was-
auditor.
The SCMR fund is restricted to planning, constructing, reconstructing, repaving, widening, maintaining, repairing, clearing, and cleaning public highway roads and streets. Number one. Number two, maintaining, repairing bridges and viaducts, which I'm certain our vehicle would, they use that vehicle for that. Purchasing, erecting, and maintaining street and traffic signs and marks. They do that on occasion. Paying the cost of a portion to the municipal corporation, paying the cost of portion to the municipal corporate under specific sections of the Ohio Revised Code, but that doesn't apply in this situation. Purchasing, erecting, and maintaining traffic light and signals, paying the principal interest and charges on bonds and other obligations issued for the purpose of acquiring or constructing roads, highways, bridges, or viaducts. So I guess you could use a portion of that to pay down some of our debt, but I don't think we receive that much money per year in that account. We only receive, I'm not certain about the amount, but I don't think it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. But, so if you could tie it into the purchase into that, I did also research some law on it, and it's been done in the past, but I think you have to specify the reason for the purchase. I think it's cleaner and the way to do it, rather than just purchase it without authorization from council, and to restrict, to define the uses of what they're gonna use that service vehicle for.
Okay.
So I can prepare that.
That from the gasoline tax?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the street fund mainly is the gasoline and license taxing. We supplement that fund every year. Which brings me to another couple of questions that we'll get into maybe at budgeting time, some of the things that we expense out of there. I know that there's building repair and maintenance in that fund and some things that maybe we should be moving to the general fund.
Thank you, Nikki.
Okay. Well, you got ahead of me there, 'cause that was under other business. So you do want a resolution for that then?
Yes.
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 Okay, we'll put a resolution on there. So Nikki, you'll have to give John the amount,
I'm not,
the exact amount, correct?
the exact amount, I'm not sure who we're purchasing, the model, make, you know, that sort of thing, so I can put it in the resolution and the company that we're buying it from.
Okay. That shouldn't be a problem. But that's just a movement of funds, so that will not change what everybody has in front of them for the spreadsheet for the appropriations, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
We'll reduce one line item and increase another.
right, gotcha.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Nikki, did Rob give you the final price on that?
Final price, I don't know that it's changed. I know he sent me an email with some information on it, so I can check in with him tomorrow.
So we have, I mean, I know the number he talked was like right around 40,000.
Right, and that's pretty much what I've been hearing. I don't have an exact figure right
Okay,
now.
all right. Maybe that's something that, if we get that, maybe John needs that.
Yeah. Mhm.
You can't even tell this is diet. That's how good it is. I can't give the brand because we're on thing and they'd probably get in trouble for like advertising or something.
You can hold it up, we got no video.
But, okay. Oh, you're right. You're right. It wouldn't have mattered. Okay. Any other, anything on the appropriations?
No, just thank you, Nikki, for keeping on top of everything.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm trying. Some days I fall behind. Or feel really behind.
My suggestion, it's up to council whether you want to pass that tonight or put it on for second reading. That would be my suggestion. Put on for second reading. Mr. Spitznagel will probably have a full, I know he turned up the volume on those, a full council at that time. Gives everybody time, since Nikki just distributed the new spreadsheet, gives everybody time to look at it again. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Somebody
Yes.
make the motion for second reading? Okay. Any questions from any residents, non-residents about the appropriations? Okay, then I'm going to move on to item B, ordinance 2024-10, amending sections 891.072, 891.104, and 891.1111 of chapter 891 of the codified ordinances, correct, John?
Yes, sir. It's the Ohio State, the Ohio legislature passed a law mandating these changes, so we have to we have our little local ordinance that parrots the state. Although Rita's been using the state ordinance in preparing the returns, we felt it was better to amend our ordinance to reflect the changes demanded by the state legislature. So that's what these are basically. And I think they were highlighted for you there a little bit in the one pieces here. Had to do with primarily, let's see here. I should have brought my cheat sheet, but basically dealing with remote employees or owners of businesses and where they had to report, for income tax purposes is clarified. I believe, that was kind of a controversial subject there for a while. Where I think the Supreme Court, where your employer is where you have to file your, where your income is earned. And then they did allow an extension of time to file some returns that were in conflict for the in the past, so they changed the date to be the 15th day of the 11th month after the last day of the taxable year in which the return relates. So they're modifying the based on the federal returns. And then they also have just not trying to read everything. I'm trying to summarize this.
House Bill 33, it
Yes.
looks like, is mentioned in there, that
Yes, yes.
mandated a lot of this.
Yes,
So it's basically a housekeeping item.
yes, sir. And we have no choice in the matter, so.
Mr. Mayor,
Nikki, you have anything to add to
Does-
this?
is
I
this
do
just
not.
for remote workers, or is this also for businesses that work out of the village, out of their home? Does it affect them?
It's for everyone, yes,
Everybody in the,
that has to file a return in the village.
my suggestion is to put this on for first reading.
Yeah, and I could bring you a better summary.
Yeah, and it gives you time to take a look at it.
I didn't bring that file, I apologize.
It's not a hurry on it. If you have any questions, you can call John or Nikki or. What we have in the packet pretty much spells it out. The exhibit is pretty lengthy.
And it was provided by Rita.
Yeah, Rita's, what is it? 1, 2.
It's almost the whole packet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 6 pages, 3 or 4 pages double-sided.
One more question about it.
Yeah,
Mr.
go ahead,
Mayor.
Diane.
Does all the misspelling get fixed before it actually
Yeah, I just was
gets
noticing that.
passed?
It
I mean,
should've-
there's gotta be at least 30 words misspelled on here.
Yes, I will double check that there.
Okay.
Well, John didn't, you didn't put it together, that's what Rita sent
Rita-
us. That's
Rita
their
did it.
their boilerplate.
Yes, I
Okay.
just noticed that.
There was a word that was, I thought.
Mostly on the last section here.
No, it's a real word.
Oh,
Scriber's error, as they call it, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, I
Yes.
didn't mark anything on the first page,
But
but,
that's a real word.
but all these other ones, it's like excessive.
I hear you.
Spell check. Although spell check doesn't catch everything.
Well,
Yeah, I hear you.
some of this it should have.
That's because you're used to us doing it ourselves. And that's straight from Rita, that whole exhibit. Any questions with item B? Any questions from any residents? Anybody watching the live stream? All right. We'll move on to item C. Resolution 2024-31, authorizing the mayor and village engineer to make application for a community development block grant. That is what we had the hearing on last week. Talked about it. That is for the $150,000 and $50,000 supplemental. The only area we can use it in is the target area, which is the Hannon and Crick Industrial Parks, which is something we use every year. That's to repair the concrete pavement in those 2 areas. In Walton Hills, that area is the only target area, so it's the only area we can use that grant money for. I asked for suspension today in the special council meeting. That's one reason we got the special council meeting, is because in the memo you received from Joe, the annual CDBG grant application is due 9/16. They put it up 2 months earlier this year. Okay, so it's a little early, and so we came back, it was right there. But I don't think there's a problem applying for free money in a grant. So I asked for that for suspension tonight. Any questions on that? I know we went through that pretty much last week. We had the public hearing on it. It's 150,000 and then 50,000. Any questions from council? No? Any questions from any residents, non-residents, anybody watching the live stream? Okay. Let's see here. As you notice, we have one item there, and that's the Pledge of Allegiance on the bottom there. So we won't have that. We don't need to make a motion or not, do we, John?
No, that's okay.
All right. Okay, I have nothing under other business at this time. Does anybody else have anything under other business?
Do I have to make that motion during,
Oh,
I can
yes.
do it here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's do, you could do that right now.
All right, Mr. Mayor. I would like to make a motion to allow Jenny Lee Mason to be compensated for unused vacation time for the year 2023 for the reasons stated in Chief Dave Kwiatkowski's July 23rd, 2024 letter, incorporated herein by reference due to an unexpected staff shortage attributed to an unforeseen resignation which prohibited her from exercising her vacation to ensure the public health and safety of the village of Walton Hills as a one-time exception due to the unusual circumstances stated.
Second?
Second by Fred Nielsen. Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes?
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed 4-0. Okay. Does anybody have anything under other business?
Mr. Coffey did.
Okay, hold on. Council, all good? Okay. Come on up to the mic, Jim.
Mr. Mayor and Council, James Conkey, 7700 Somerset. Bringing it to Council's attention, after the asphalt on Alexander, they raised all the steel rings except for the one on the southwest corner of the intersection of Dunham and Alexander, and the monument box in the center of, right underneath the traffic light, were never raised. That's it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Conkey. Anybody else have anything before council? And okay, any thing from any other residents or non-residents watching the live stream?
No.
No? Okay, how many people we got watching?
7.
7. Okay, can I ask item 7, a motion for an adjournment?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment of the COW meeting.
Second.
Second, vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:33 PM. 4-0, thank you, everybody. Okay, nobody wants to go far, right?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, you ready? We'll start the next meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody to the special council meeting of the Village of Walton Hills of Tuesday, September 10th, 2024 at 7 PM. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
7:34, I'm sorry, Nikki, I didn't mean to, 7:34 PM, we had a meeting before that. Correct that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Councilman Nielsen?
Here.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Here.
Councilwoman Allen?
Here.
Councilman Whedon?
Present.
Okay, 4 council members present, is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I'd like
Mr.
to
Nielsen.
Make a motion to excuse Brian Spitznagel for the council meeting of September 10th.
Second.
Second by Mr. Whedon, vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, Councilman Spitznagel excused, thank you, everybody. Okay, we're gonna go through the legislation. We have item A, ordinance 2024-9.
Mr. Mayor,
Jennifer Allen.
I'd like to introduce for second reading ordinance 2024-9, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2024-3, making additional appropriations for current expenditures of the Village of Walton Hills, Ohio during the year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Second. Okay, so that's, thank you, everybody. That's second reading. So we'll have that on the next, our regular scheduled council meeting for third reading. Okay. We have item B, ordinance 2024-10. Somebody like to make a,
Mr. Mayor,
introduce? Yes, Jennifer.
I would like to introduce for first reading ordinance 2024-10, an ordinance amending sections 891-.072, net profit income subject to net profit tax, alternative apportionment, 891.104, extension of time to file, and 891.11, penalty, interest, fees, and charges of Chapter 891 Municipal Income Tax for the tax years commencing January 1, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. So that's first reading. We'll have that on there for second reading or suspension, just so it feels. And we can have Mr. Montello will have more information on that if needed. Okay, we have item C, resolution 2024-31. Who would like to introduce that?
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Nielsen.
Yes, I'd like to ask for suspension of resolution number 2024-31, a resolution authorizing the mayor and the village engineer to make an application for a community development block grant in the amount of $150,000, as well as to make application for a 2025 community development supplemental grant in the amount of $50,000 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a second by Mr. Whedon? Vote on the suspension.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay, suspension passed 4-0. Mr. Nielsen.
Mr. Mayor, yes, I'd like to ask for adoption of resolution number 2024-31.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vote on the adoption.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Spitznagel? I'm sorry, Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
0, thank you, everybody. What we do have, we have on the agenda a motion to go in executive this session to discuss pending or imminent court action and to discuss compensation for non-union employees pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G. When we do come back from executive session, we reconvene. We will adjourn the meeting. There will be no discussion or no voting at that time. Who would like to make that motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending or imminent court action and to discuss compensation for non-union employees pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22 sub G.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Nielsen. Vote on the motion.
Councilman Nielsen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kanzoni?
Yes.
Councilwoman Allen?
Yes.
Councilman Whedon?
Yes.
Okay. We are going to executive session at 7:39 p.m. Everybody's more than welcome to stay here. If you want, we'll go in the office there and have our executive session. We don't have a lot of people here. Okay,
We
ready?
will just be
Stop
adjourning
this, or-
after.
Oh, yeah, we are gonna end the live stream, because when we come back, we're just going to reconvene and ask for adjournment. So you can end that. And then we'll let, Vicky know too. Okay. You can stay if you want. We're gonna go in my office, so.